Hey everyone, I'm here to do a quick video on the campaign phase and the initial setup for Band of Blades. This assumes the first mission was the chosen horned one and that two were lost on the mission. So without further ado, I am going to dive in here. So we open up initially with the commander sheet. The commander is the initial leader of the Legion. He has a chance to look at the missions and decide what the Legion is going to do. After our initial setup, we start with a pressure of 0 because we were successful on the opening mission, and we set a timer of 0 because we were also successful, and intel of 1. Now you can see the heritage, reputation, and personality has already been checked off. This just kind of gives a little flavor to your commander, and then we'd replace this with a name. Jubbo, the commander. So that sets up our initial commander. It's very simple. The time wheels, every time they fill, the broken, the enemy of the chosen, and the divine entities serving the undead in power. If the last wheel fills before you get to Skydagger Keep, you are defeated. At the end of each mission, the commander chooses whether you move forward on the map and which way to go. This can lead to a number of decisions, or if they stay behind and try and prepare. The commander's secondary job is to choose what missions to go on. So I've rolled some up quickly. We have the Western Farms supply mission. That's going to increase our food and our supply, and the penalty is -1 morale, -1 supply if we choose not to do it. We have the Hidden Falls, which is a recon type mission. Rewards give +1 intel and -1 time. Reducing time is usually really great, but as you can see, we don't have any yet, so might not be a priority. And the penalty of this is to increase pressure by 1. The last is an assault type mission, Hunting Giants. This is going to give +2 morale as a huge boost to the confidence of the Legion, or a penalty of +1 pressure if ignored. With all this decided, given the current situation, we are going to we can only do 2. One is our primary, which is played out, and one is a secondary, which NPCs use an engagement roll to determine success. With that, we are going to decide Hidden Falls at this time is not on our priority list. So that is going to increase our pressure by the time everyone comes back, but I'm going to add it now. Next, we have the Marshal. And the Marshal tracks the morale. So the opening morale of the mission would be 9 -1 for every loss. As I had said before, we lost 2, so morale dropped by 2. We lost one of the Ghost Wolves, which we would take note here that they are no longer available. And it is also the Marshal's job to track all the injuries, the specialists we have remaining, which is everything but a sniper, and such, and their wounds and what their fighting capability is. So with that, the heavy has a single wound. People are stressed to the gills. But yeah, it's their job to decide who's going to go on what mission. So we have, should bring the sheet over. We have the 2 missions that have been decided by the commander. The Assault, which is going to need a heavy or a sniper. We no longer have a sniper. And the Supply, which is going to need an officer or a scout. Given the situation, I'm going to send both the officer and the scout and the supply. I'm going to send the heavy and the medic on the assault mission, hoping for the best. And then I have to assign them each a squad. So I'll send the Ember Wolves with the heavy and the Shattered Lions with the scout and officer to give them a hand. Hopefully things will turn out well. And we'll come back to the Marshal in a minute. But now we're going to jump to the Quartermaster. And setting up the initial Quartermaster, they have food stores that are automatic. And then you choose 5 others. So we're going to say we have, for this one, we're going to say we have some black powder, a siege weapon, as the group could have used one last time, some religious resources, and we need horses. all that in place, we would then choose a Mercy or Alchemist. As you see, I've already chosen a Mercy, and their ability is to take on wounds of your injured. Each campaign phase that they aren't wounded, they can take one wound from one of your injured parties. Any campaign phase they don't act, they recover their own wound. Alchemists, on the other hand, are capable of altering the world around them. They get a corruption track, which also works as their long-term projects. And over time, they become corrupt and need to be ended. However, they provide the little magic that the Legion has access to. The other job of the Quartermaster is to ask the Marshal what the morale is and determine what campaign action they're going to take. At a morale of 7, we get 1. So we can attempt to acquire assets, which we would roll the rating of the location we're in. At the Western Front, the rating starts at 0. We can Liberty, reducing stress and increasing morale. We can pick a long-term project, trying to change the world and set us up for a better situation. We can recruit, giving us 5 new rookies to the Marshal to start rebolstering his ranks. You must be able to fill at least 3 squads with rookies and soldiers, meaning you need at least 15 of them. You start with 30, we lost 1, we're already down to 29. Or rest and recuperate. The entire Legion takes a extra healing tick to recover. With all that decided, you can also spend supply to boost or take additional campaign actions. All that said, I think we're going to Liberty. So we tell the Marshal that. He reduces the stress of all the people who are with us. That 1 wound was removed because people get a healing tick during the campaign phase, which is enough for the heavy to lose their injury. So with that has been the Quartermaster. We'll come back to that in a second as well. 2 optional are the Loremaster, which tracks the dead. Every time 4 die, they tell a tale and choose an effect. So this can be the Legion's founding, tale of the Legion's independence. There are a number here, and there's a number of prompts to help you flesh out this story. So the Lore Keeper would tell this tale, and then pick one of the effects it had. So this could be the tale of the Legion's independence, where the soldiers work an extra shift, adding 3 ticks to a long-term project, or Purify, reducing corruption by 2 on everyone, or Shrug Off Wounds, Specialist Mark, an extra healing tick. We haven't had enough die, so we don't need to worry about that. The last special one that isn't required, much like the Loremaster, is the Spymaster. And they are given 2 agents to do a variety of things, from help. They can either stay behind and recover, they can interrogate to try and get extra intel, they can blackmail to try and get +1 die for getting assets, or they can try and get a +1 die on long-term projects. And they have a lot of suggestions for many long-term projects, from augment missions to expand the spy network to research, recruiting, laying traps, and so on. Alright, so the Spymaster won't be needed anymore, nor will the Loremaster. So we go back to our commander just before the mission. He has picked the missions. He will have intel, which you can choose to spend to boost the engagement roll of the missions, and to ask a question. So he is not going to do that yet. Not for these set of missions. Next we go to the Marshal, and he calculates the engagement roll. There are a number of parameters, both in general and for missions. For this, we're going to have the entire Legion is loyal. That's going to start us at a +1. We don't have any other bonuses here or negatives. We've got the right specialist for the job. And we're going to turn to the Quartermaster, asking if we can get the right equipment. So for an assault mission, we need Blackshot. We turn to the Quartermaster. Quartermaster agrees. That gives us a +1. If we don't have the right equipment, it's a -1 to the engagement roll. So that sets up our first mission, which is our primary. This is what the characters are starting in. We're going to roll some dice, and the highest number is going to determine the situation they're starting in. So we roll 2 dice, 2 1s. So we are starting in a desperate situation. So we went out to face this cut-off giant just to realize it was an ambush. Gaunt zombies, which are metal-clad zombies, begin to rise. A second giant hurls a large cart from the woods, comes smashing down towards the characters in their squad, and that's where we're going to open up. Meanwhile, we do once we would play through that, see how that mission goes, we would then roll engagement for the other. So the only thing left on the supply is ask Quartermaster if they're going to send us the right equipment, which is food. Quartermaster, not a problem. We still have lots of food. Supplies us with some, giving us 2 dice. We roll, and the secondary mission is not played out. This dice roll determines exactly what happens. So we have 6 as our highest. On a 6, the mission succeeds, so we get the bonuses. All specialists take 1 harm. So we had the heavy and medic there. They're going to take a harm. And choose 2 members of the squad to promote from rookie to soldier. So we'd let our marshal know that 2 of these shattered lions are now soldiers on the field. Our heavy took an injury. Our medic took a wound. And yeah, that resolves the marshal's job. Then we'd start all over again, looking at the rewards from our missions, starting with our commander. So, assuming the supply one was success as it was, we're going to end up with the rewards of +2 supply, bringing us right up there, and extra food stores. Our assault will vary. We can, assuming it went badly, we'll just go with that. That's going to increase the pressure by 1. In addition, we are going to have to add one tick to the timer. There was no time penalties on this, but every time the timer goes up, so does the pressure. Morale went up by 2, given our hunt. Oh no, we said we failed the hunting giant, so it did not. And assume we lost someone, because bad things happen. We simply check off the Amber Wolf that was lost and continue. And this cycle continues over and over as you go through the campaign to mission and back. So guys, that's been a quick summary of how the campaign phase works. If there's any questions, feel free to comment below and I'll try and answer the best I can. The group that did this mission, thank you to you all, and sorry the internet cut out at the last minute. I hope everyone is having a great week, and I hope everyone enjoys their coming Christmas. Bye for now, everyone.